Stakeholders at the National Dialogue on Leadership and Participation of Persons with Disabilities have called for more inclusion of persons with disabilities (PWDs) in governance and political offices. The dialogue, organized by the Disability Rights Advocacy Center (DRAC), is part of activities to mark the 2021 World Disability Day and the 10th anniversary celebration of DRAC as an organization in Abuja. The International Day of Persons with Disabilities has the theme Leadership and Participation of Persons with Disabilities in a Post-COVID-19 World. In her remarks, Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talen, represented by Ms. Julie Akaria, Principal Community Development Officer, Talen said capacity building and leadership training programs were key for increased political participation of persons with disabilities.
I commend the members of this organization and other actors for the enviable achievements on dialogue on leadership and participation of persons with disability. Today, there are hardly any disability in Nigeria that is completely ignorant of inclusion of persons with disability in our political leadership. This great feat, I believe, came at the expense of your personal comfort, considering the conservative society we have and other barriers that may have encountered in the course of your work. It is not time to rest on our laurels because in Nigeria there are still various barriers to political participation faced by persons with disability. This is a wake-up call to every one of us to be awake and double our efforts till we have a society that is disabled inclusive in every sphere of our government.
The executive director of DRAC, Patrick-Ogbogu, said that at the beginning of the decade being celebrated, one of the biggest challenges was lack of interest on disabilities issues stemming from lack of awareness.
We found that in the public generally and within service providers, ministries, departments, agencies, there was a lot of ignorance about disability rights. There was a lot of ignorance about the fact that persons with disabilities are excluded and needed to be included. So we immediately set about trying to change those notions. We also found that there were too many myths and misconceptions about persons with disabilities, about disability generally. So one of the things we wanted to do immediately was to begin to correct some of those wrong information and raise awareness on disability issues and the fact that persons with disabilities have rights. Another major challenge was that there was no protective legislation and policies. So we had to work from a background of not having any laws that promote the rights of persons with disabilities, no policies that speak to how persons with disabilities can be included in services. And of course, we had to also prioritize that as the things that we needed to change.
According to her, going forward, DRAC plans to consolidate on what it has already achieved and to do more. She, however, said that a lot still needed to be done to improve awareness, adding that although awareness on disabilities is high in urban areas, there is still a lot of ignorance about disabilities in the rural areas.
That we have a disability law right now in Nigeria is a big win. The fact that we have a commission that is also supposed to be implementing that law, monitoring compliance with the law, is also something that we're very happy about. So going forward, we're going to prioritize strengthening the capacity of all stakeholders because the Commission is not the only body that is responsible for the implementation of the law. We also have other relevant ministries, departments and agencies, development partners, CSOs. So we're going to be working with them, closely with them, to strengthen their capacity to be able to implement the law, to provide them with the guidance, the support that they need to be able to protect and promote the rights of persons with disabilities, to ensure that their services become accessible and inclusive of persons with disabilities.
The country representatives of the UN Children's Fund, UNICEF Nigeria, Peter Hawkins, represented by UNICEF Child Protection Specialist Dr. Godwin Odo, commended DRAC at 10 and the achievements made so far.
At the international level, the law has evolved with the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. In Nigeria, we now have the law, the Disability Act, which has been passed into law. But like I said, it's not enough just to pass it. It is incumbent on the government to make the resources available for the implementation of this law. And this is the role that groups like the Disability Rights Advocacy Center can play to ensure that the law is implemented to its full.